YouTube Pocket Profit coming back with another video. Today, you guys, in this video, I want to help you guys find more profitable items at your thrift stores. So today I got 5 tips and tricks that you guys can use that I think that are really going to help you out to find better and more profitable items at your guys' thrift stores. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is, which you guys should be already be doing, but your sale days. What days your thrift stores have sales. Whether it's Goodwill or Savers or Unique or any of those places, make sure you're paying attention for their sales, the deals that they have. Whether that's through email or whatever it may be. Certain times my thrift stores will have 50% off everything. Or they'll have like 50% off just clothing, things like that. So that's really, really important because what will happen sometimes is I'll go to the thrift store and say I'm there for a Saturday, Sunday weekend deal, and I go there on Saturday, let's say, and I find a few items that like I could make a little bit of money on, but just not enough really to buy it. Well, if I know that tomorrow, the next day, is a 50% sale day, and my hotel or whatever is close by, I'll kind of, I don't want to say hide them, but I'll kind of leave them in a certain area where I know where they are, and I'll put them off, a little bit, and I'll come back the next day early in the morning, and I'll grab them for 50% off, and they are profitable, and they are going to make me money. So definitely keep in mind your sale days and what days your thrift stores have sales, and kind of think of that like, yeah, I could make $2 on it now, but if I wait tomorrow, I could make 6. Sometimes you got to play with it a little bit, and you might miss out. But if you know that you're going to be there bright early, and right where the item is, you can run and go get it. No big deal. So that was tip number 1. All right, tip number 2 is look for where the expensive stuff goes first. So for me, at my thrift stores, when I walk in, there's always like a glass case of some kind. Either it's a standing one and you'll go look in there, or it'll be one on the ground and you look in that way. That's always where the more expensive items are going to be, and a lot of times a lot of the technology stuff will be there. So you'll always find like video games most of the time there. You'll find Game Boys and things like that. Normally if they're in there, you're going to have to pay up a little bit, but they're normally better and higher quality items. So I always like to check there first. That's where the first place I go. Like I said, they're going to have better quality items in there and better selling most of the times. And not always are they more expensive. For some reason, I'll go and I'll find video games brand new sealed from like a Target or something for $5 in there that I'm selling for $30. Okay, so I just like to go there first just because a lot of times it's brand new items or higher dollar items that are better and quicker sellers. So always try to find where your thrift store puts the expensive stuff and or the higher value or whatever they would call it area. And I would suggest even checking there first. Normally it's not a huge area, so you can do it pretty quickly. So just kind of scan it, and sometimes you have to ask to have them open the case, and it is what it is. But I find lots of items in there with good ranks, great for selling on eBay and on Amazon, and yeah, that's just a thing you guys should be checking out. All right, so the third little tip I want to give you guys is look for the new stuff. Look for the fresh inventory. A couple thrift stores I get to right away in the morning, right when they open up, and what happens is they're stocking normally right away in the morning too. So I'll walk into my thrift store and it just opened, and they had just wheeled out some bins, or I don't know, the carts or whatever. I'm sure you guys have seen them before, but with like buckets on or whatever, and they wheel them out and they kind of put them next to the aisles of where the inventory goes. And a lot of people are too scared to look in them. They feel like they're not supposed to touch them. But numerous occasions, I'll go in there and I'll start looking at them, and the workers have no problem. And I've asked them, I'm like, do you mind if I look in here? And they're like, no, go ahead. I mean, if you think about it, it's less for them to put away if you do find something, right? Just saying. But definitely look out for that new inventory, especially if it's early in the morning and you get there and they're pushing it out. You should be going right for that because that should be not picked over. That should be something that's fresh and you can look at right away. So I think that's important. Like I found TI-84s, TI-83s, things like that for a couple of dollars in those new bins, and it's just worth it. Definitely look for those new inventory that they're pushing out and take a look at that right away. Especially, like I said, in the morning, most times, at least for my thrift stores, that's when they put a lot of that new inventory out. So I would suggest getting there earlier. All right, so the fourth thing I want to talk about is slow it down a little bit, guys, at the thrift stores. I have a bad habit of this, terrible habit of this, but I know myself, so I do things a little differently, and I make room for my error, I should say. So I go into the thrift store and I rush right away, guys, like a little bit, and I know it's probably not the best, but I'll rush through and I'll go through, look. But after I do that first initial exciting look, I slow it down. And a lot of times when I slow it down, I end up finding a few items that I had missed. Some things that are a little harder to see, or a good example is like in the board game section, you know, I'll go through looking, okay, I didn't see anything, or I found a couple things, move on. But when I come back, well, I missed a board game that was behind one or two board games. Or I didn't look far enough in the back of this other section that had a new sealed small game. Not a big one, but a small one. So definitely slow it down. Everyone's got their own method. For me, it's I rush and then I slow. That's just kind of who I am. But I know that and I plan accordingly for that. So, but just take a breath, slow it down, you know. Woosah, or whatever you gotta say to slow down. I know it's exciting and it's for me too. I'm always just like go, but you just gotta slow it down and you're better off and you'll probably find more items, or you won't have to come back like I do and double check your work. So, all right, the fifth thing and a super important one that I want to talk about is building relationships, or you know, that's one aspect of the workers and the people that work there. You know, building relationships, talking to them, but more importantly, honestly, you don't necessarily have to know the person, and you don't have to know their address, or you know them really well, but just be nice to them, okay? Smile when you talk to them. Ask them, how's your day going? Just simple conversation is super important. And I'll give you an example for this, okay? I was at a store. I don't want to say which one, because it was a good deal. I went to a store and they had some brand new sealed type of board game, and they had got it from a Target, or I'm pretty sure they got it from Target, and they were asking, I think it was like $19.99, okay, $19.99 for each one, and it was a pretty pricey game, and they had like, I think they had like 7-8 of them for whatever reason. A good seller, and so they had like 7-8 of them for like $20, okay, and certain things you can't use coupons for, and whatever. So I was gonna buy them regardless at 20 because I was still gonna make like 20 on them, but I bring them up to the counter and there's a nice lady working there, and we just start talking to them like, oh, how's your day going? Good. You guys seem pretty busy. Blah, 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 blah. Just talking, you know, while she's ringing it up. Nothing crazy, nothing big, just smiling, having a good time, making her day better. And so we got done. She scanned everything, and then she kind of looks at me like, oh, is that it? I'm like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, now, can I use my coupon on this? I don't think I can, but I'm not sure. And she looks at me, and she's kind of like, well, we're not really supposed to, I don't think, on this, but you know, it's okay, I don't mind. So she let the coupon go through, and everything went fine, and it saved me like 20-30% or whatever it was on every one of those games. I was gonna buy them regardless, but I asked her if I could use the coupon, and she let me, and for whatever reason, if it was just being nice and talking, just all those things help and add up, and that saved me a bunch of money on those board games, and we had a good conversation. It seemed like her spirit was lifted, and we had a good time. So that's just a really good example of either building relationships or just being nice to people. Ask them how was their day, anything to get them a little bit out of the meat grinder that they're in, just over and over and over the same people, same ringing things up, like can work numerous and like crazy good for you. This has happened to me a bunch of different times, not maybe to that extent for everything, but really good things just seem to happen when you're just nice and talk to people and ask them how their day is, and they just want to have a little bit of fun, they want to laugh a little bit, and anything like that just really goes a crazy long way. And you know, they'll remember you for the next time too, they'll remember you on the next one, and so on and so forth. Treat people good, and they should normally treat you good back. And you know, it's proven, and I can't stress that enough. So alright guys, that's 5 little tips I wanted to bring to your attention to help you find more items, better potential selling items, or better prices for items when you're going for like thrift stores and stuff like that to sell on like eBay, Amazon, you know, all those places. I hope you guys got some value out of that video. Maybe you guys can implement some of those tips today, tomorrow, the next day, and I hope you guys do well. So that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you guys are liking this video. You guys have been awesome. I really appreciate all the likes you guys have been giving me. Please comment. Tell me if this has worked for you before. Have you ever got a great deal from somebody? You know, even tell me what you had for dinner. I really like actually asking people. It's fun to see what people eat and what they had for dinner. Tell me where you're from, anything like that. And lastly, you guys, you need to subscribe, okay? Subscribe, and make sure you hit that little bell next to that subscribe button, because I'm going to be doing more live videos when I have the time, and when I put out new content. If you have that bell on, you'll get notified right away, and the information you guys can get from my videos, hopefully you can use right away when you're going into thrift stores. I got a lot of items I sell on eBay that I've been sharing with you guys. So super important that you guys hit subscribe and that bell so you guys get notified. So, but that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Pocket Profit out.